All right. I am Love Carpenter and super excited to welcome you guys on this August summer night on August the 6th to our Summertime of Success series. And we are super excited to share our guest speaker with you tonight, brand new Executive Director, Jennifer Henderson. And I know everybody's muted, but everybody give her a big hand. And Jennifer and the Henderson team have just been on a serious explosion this year, and you guys are fixing to hear all about it. So I actually met Jennifer at a cooking show about a little over 3.5 years ago. So Jennifer's been with Pampered Chef for about 3.5 years now. And I want to share with you guys that Jennifer started out just doing cooking shows, didn't know anything about virtual parties until about 6 months or more into her, about 6 months into her business. And she did about 3 or 4 cooking parties a month. She's going to tell you a little bit about how she got started. But the thing I want you to know about Jennifer is that she did not recruit or add anyone to her team for 8 solid months in the business. And this year, in 2019 alone, just 6 months, 7 months into the business, her team has already welcomed 244 new consultants under her leadership. So their team is also in third month of Senior Executive Director. So just to paint a picture for you guys, I've been in Pampered Chef for 20 years and promoted to Senior Executive Director about 5 months ago. And Jennifer and her team are fixing to qualify as a Senior Executive Director 3.5 months into the business. 3.5 years into the business. So I could not be more excited to introduce Jennifer Henderson to you guys, new Executive Director. And Jennifer is going to share her story with you, and then she and I are going to do a little question and answer time to share with you how she's built the success that she's built in her business, and then open it up for a few questions and answers at the end. So Jennifer, take it away.
All righty. Well, I was really excited whenever I got this opportunity to share my story, because some of you might think that it's been like a petal of roses since I started this business 3.5 years ago. So luckily for me, I have it all written down, and hopefully you have a box of tissues, maybe somewhat close by. So I'm just going to share my story with you guys. So in October of 2015, I was invited to a Pampered Chef cooking show. I can remember it like it was yesterday. The hostess was a friend of mine that I went to church with. We weren't close friends, but she had asked me a few Sundays past if I would like to come to her house for a cooking show. I thought about it, and that Sunday morning, the day of the party, she asked me again. I thought, sure, why not? I needed an excuse to get out of the house that afternoon. So that afternoon, I went to her house where I met Love Carpenter, the consultant at the show. Love had planted a seed that day that I could help my family pay off some medical debt that we had had. We had had 2 children under the age of 4, a vasectomy, a tubal pregnancy, all within that same year, and 2 separate health insurance deductibles. Needless to say, that we needed money was an understatement, and I was not about to go to Target or to Belk's and get a retail job working every weekend and every major holiday. So I went home and convinced my sweet husband that I had the solution to solving our living paycheck to paycheck problem. He said, as long as you make back what you spend on your kid, you can stop it at any time. I thought, that's fair enough for me. I got my kid in November and started off doing just 2 to 5 cooking shows a month. Now, I also worked a full-time job for an electrical subcontractor, so I needed something that was very flexible. It got me out of the house and helped me that first few months make about $300 to $800 a month. I could finally see the debt was being lowered. It was funny that following spring, I told my husband that I needed a babysitter that Saturday night because I had a cooking show. And he said, "You're still doing that gig?" Laugh out loud. Little did he know that this little blessing would turn into something even bigger one day. That April, we had put our house on the market, and to our little surprise, it sold within a week. Cash offer, 30-day closing, paying all closing costs. Pretty much we had to find a place to live right away. In June, we found a unique place to live, a single wide trailer on 4 acres of land, 25 miles into the country, no central air. I live in North Carolina, hint, hint, on a gravel dirt road a mile long. Yes, not what I had pictured myself at the age of 35, but it was temporary. We were waiting for the perfect place to open up for us to raise our children and homestead one day. Do I look like a homesteader? I'm a city girl, or at least I thought I was. Everything was going great. Kids were adjusting to the bugs and country life, and I was trying to find a routine schedule because now I had to travel 45 miles one way to work 3 days a week. Then I discovered virtual parties, and boy, did they really take off for me. With my live show schedule, I could now add more shows to my monthly calendar with virtual shows. And the benefit, be home with my kids. Life was adjusting to somewhat normal cadence until tragedy struck. That July, my life changed forever. I had lost my baby brother to a heroin overdose. It struck my entire family hard. He was such a ray of light and had a smile you could see a mile away. In other words, he was the life of the party. My heart was broken and depression was setting in, but what I did have was an amazing team that was just like family who lifted my spirits up daily and kept me on track. Then, if that wasn't enough, in the fall, my job of 16 years gave me a choice to make. Either come into the office every day, which means I had to put my youngest into full-time daycare, and our daughter, who had just started kindergarten, into after school, or resign. So I chose to be there for my kids and to go full-time with my Pampered Chef business. In February of 2017, I promoted to a director. Now, like what Love had told you guys is true. I did not invite anybody to the business my first 8 months in. Okay. So then that almost a year and a couple months later, I promoted to a director and got to be a stay-at-home mom. Then that same month, I lost my grandfather to cancer. Yes, here I went again down that depression tunnel, and mourning hit me again. This time even harder because my grandfather was like a dad. But again, I had my PC family to pick me back up and keep me going. Fast forward to May of 2018, the devil found a crack in my marriage and my heart was shattered again. This time, I didn't think I would ever recover. I had just lost my brother, my job, my grandfather, and now my marriage was on the edge of destruction. How in the world could I ever get back on top of that mountain again? I prayed and prayed and prayed, and I kept God first in everything I did. I also knew that the only thing that I could control at this time was my personal business. I could book more parties and meet new people. And what really helped me was that I kept myself around positive people. I then started sharing this amazing blessing that I had received with everyone that I had came in contact with. Why not? It had been such a wonderful blessing to me and had saved me from so much grief that I could have had. I had replaced my grief with success and dug so deep into staying positive because I know that at any point during these past 3 years, I could have easily walked away from my business, but I chose not to. I truly think that this business opportunity was put in my life when God knew that I would need it the most. I'm so happy to say that my life at this moment is the best it's ever been. We are moving into our forever home this August. My marriage is the best it has ever been with God's grace and mercy. I'm happy to say that life has given me so many obstacles to jump over, fall under, and stumble upon. Hold on, I got tissues here. But I kept my mind and my heart focused on what I wanted it to be, and I overcame them all. This business has been such a huge blessing to me and my family, and I love sharing this blessing with others. Now, if you would have asked me 3.5 years ago if I would have left a job of 16 years to be a full-time executive director with the Pampered Chef, making a $10,000 a month paycheck, I would have told you that you have lost your mind. I'm so glad that I was given this opportunity to say yes to the business and be what this business can be for each and every one of you sitting here at this Zoom call today. Be that one person.
Thank you so much for sharing with us, Jennifer.
You're welcome.
I know everyone would be giving you a big round of applause, but everyone is muted, so you cannot hear them. But that's great, so that we could hear you. So would you like to give everyone a little insight into what your next couple of weeks looks like?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm in 3rd month of senior exec, promoted to an executive on May 1st. And so our house is finishing up. Hopefully we will be moving in within the next probably 2 weeks. Fast forward to next Thursday, we go on vacation for our family vacation for the summer. And then the week after we get back from vacation, my kids start back to school. So yay me. And so, but I am not worried. I'm not scared. I am going to dig my heels into the dirt. And I'm going to stay planted. And that's all you can do in this business is stay focused and just keep pushing forward, because we've got the senior executive promotion to finalize. I don't care about moving. Who likes to move? Come help me.
So Jennifer and her family should be moving the week she gets back from vacation. So just a little bit going on in her life in the next couple of weeks. And so I hope you guys take away from that we all have stuff and life's never going to be perfect. And so don't ever wait for the perfect time to do what you want to do in your business. Just jump in and do it. Why not you and why not now? Why not do this fall and have the business you want and bring in the income that you want for your family? And Jennifer is a true testimony to you can work this business around everything else that's going on in your life, because you're not going to walk away from a full-time job because something has happened in your life. So if you treat this business the same as you treat another business, you can have exactly what Jennifer Henderson has with her business. And what we want to share with you guys tonight is, yes, Jennifer has done an amazing job. She has done an amazing job leading her team. She has an amazing group of men and women that she works with on her team. And they are amazing. What I want you to take away from this is it's not one big amazing thing that Jennifer did to create this success. I've watched Jennifer over the last 3.5 years, and it's the little bitty things that she does day in and day out, week in and week out, and month in and month out that have made the success come together for her. And if any of you guys have ever heard, there's a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, Jeff Olsen. And he shares a concept how successful people do not become successful because of one big, great thing they did. That it's oftentimes, more often than not, the little bitty things that are very easy to do, but they're also very easy not to do, that successful people choose to do even when they don't feel like it. So getting up every morning, Jennifer has a routine that she's fixing to share with you guys about how she works her personal business every day. And I can tell you from watching Jennifer over these 3 years of building this, that it's those little things that she's chosen to do every day, even when she didn't feel like doing it. And even when life was at a point where it wasn't easy for her to do it, she did it anyway. And that's what has built the success in her business. She's never strayed from the little things that she needs to do. And I think she would tell you today, if she stopped doing those little things, she would stop seeing the same success that she has in her business day in and day out. Jennifer has consistently had a $10,000 paycheck for the last 3 months running since she's promoted to an executive director. How many of you guys would love to have $10,000 in the bank each month? And she has done this by not doing one big great thing, but by doing the little things every day it takes to build this business. So we're going to walk you through what some of those little things look like that Jennifer does to build her personal business. And so Jennifer and I had a conversation, and I asked her to share some of the daily things that she does to keep her personal business running. So Jennifer, will you just start with your daily routine and what you do first thing in the morning, and what time you do these things?
Yes, I would be more than happy to share. So, like Love said, I am a very consistent person, and I keep a very simple, like I'm a very simple person. So I get up each and every day, and I send my host coaching. I have never in my life had a host tell me that I was crazy for sending them host coaching at 5:30 in the morning. But I have found over the years that that is when a lot of people have a lot of like extra free time in the morning. Maybe that's their quiet time. Maybe they're getting ready for work. Maybe they're, commuting to work or riding on the bus to work. And so a lot of times they get that done first thing in the morning. So I send my host coaching prior to the parties separately with each and every one of my hosts. I have I'm about probably 9 weeks booked in my own personal virtual party schedule. So I try to send like host packets out like 4 to 6 weeks out in advance. And there's a little note in there. It's really simple. It just pretty much tells her to try to collect some outside orders, to text me whenever she gets her hostess packet. That way I know that she's received it. So like today I got one. It said, "Hey, it's April. I got my hostess packet." Then I can start pepping her up like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. You got your hostess packet. Do you have any questions? Did you see the brochure about the business?" Like just kind of like walk through the little small things. And it's simple. 3 catalogs, 5 outside order forms, the hostess special, and then the brochure about the business. That's it. Okay. And the little note that I send in there. And then the Monday before her party starts, I have a another message that I can either text her if I don't see that she's seen it on Messenger, or I can send it by Messenger. You can send it by email, however you prefer to contact them. I send that on the Monday before the party starts. And then there's another contact that Thursday before her party. I set up her group on Friday. But then starting Friday, all of my hosts get put in a mass message together. Okay? That way it's one simple message a day. I never really had anybody complain that they're in a mass message together with other hostess. A lot of times it kind of peps them up. Some people are like, "Hey, let's have a competition and see who can get the highest party," or, "Hey guys, where do y'all live?" Like everybody's different. And so it's kind of fun to mesh people from all over the United States together. Well, personally, I like to do it because you just never know what the outcome's going to be. And then, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is kind of like they're just trying to get people into the party. And then that Monday, there again, I'm sending the host coaching each and every day. I'm also making sure that I'm being engaging throughout the party. And I try to find like 1 or 2 posts a day that I tend to respond to, because we all know that you can't like respond. If you're running 5 to 8 shows a week, you can't respond to each and every single post that are on, these Facebook parties. So I try to pick the ones that maybe are the most engaging, or maybe the most funniest ones, or maybe just something that you're really good at. Find something and respond back to the to the message thread. And then
okay, I hit the volume. I think I hit the wall.
Can you mute her, Donna?
I think you got it.
Amy, if you can mute yourself, that would be great.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Okay.
Oh.
And so that's throughout the week. I also make sure that Love, am I going over what we talked about?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. And then I want to make sure that I am sending customer care at the end of the show. And, you know, it's just these little small, simple things. Whenever the party sells, or like whenever the orders start coming in, I do private message the original host, not in the group message. And I'll say something like, oh my gosh, girl, did you see that order that came in? Or have you seen your party sales? Or, you know, just get them very excited about the party, and then be like, girl, you could totally do this. You know, I don't post these posts. Or, you know, just like throw something in there. And maybe they've never even thought about the business. And but planting the seed in these virtual parties is key to this business, especially with like not being able to be in a room with these people at a cooking show. It's a little different. And then making sure that I ask my host 5, 6, 7, 8 times. But the way that you ask your host really goes a long ways whenever you're asking them about the business. And I'm trying to think. Love probably wrote all this stuff down. And
you gave a great example of when you said one of the things that she does every day is trying to private message each of the hosts and really build them up. Like she just said, like, oh my gosh, did you see the orders coming in on your party today, girl? You were doing such a good job with this. You could totally do this. And you gave an example of like one that was happening this week that you already have $500 in sales. Tell them about that.
Where's Lily? I'm on the phone. Sorry, I was trying to sneak in somebody's bedroom and he found me.
Thank you.
But sorry. Can't wait to have an office. But anyways, yes. So I had sent her a message and was like, girl, oh my gosh, did you see that order that came in? And she was like, yes, I saw it was a big one. And I was like, listen, you could totally do this. And she was like, really? And I was like, yes. I said, let me send you some more information. So like, I keep it short, I keep it sweet, I keep it simple. And you don't want to talk them out of the business.
Lillian? Where's Lillian? Come in. Where's
So guys,
Okay, sorry.
Her family. Go ahead.
You can't make this stuff up. Last night he spilled a whole thing of fruit punch on the counter.
Jared, our call.
It looks like there's a baby looking right at us.
Go, Eli.
Is that a real baby?
Yeah, that's the baby. Go.
Hey.
So Jennifer, you also mentioned once the party starts, there's something that you do every day to welcome people to the party and thank them for their orders. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sorry, Eli just told me to tell you to tell Walker, hey. Oh, what was the question again?
You got me tickled. Okay, so you told me that there's 2 things that you do every day once the party starts: welcoming people to the party and thanking people for their orders. Can you tell them a little bit about that?
Okay, so I make sure to let my hostess know that whenever I welcome these people, there's a thing called a right post. And as people are coming into the party, you can send a little right post. You can do up to 50. But if you have more than 50 people attend the party at the one time and join the group, you're going to have to divide them up into maybe 25, 25. And I make sure that she goes in and she comes back and welcomes her guests too, because her guests want to see her at the show. And so I make sure to do that each and every day. And then I also make sure at least once or twice a day, I'm thanking the people. And I always try to showcase some of the products in the thank you post in the picture that I'm not showcasing throughout the party. Because somebody might say, oh my gosh, what is that? Is that a pineapple wedger? Or they might say, what is that? Is that a measure all cup? Just small things that you might not showcase. I try to use those as pictures. But they're just, guys, it's just the small itty bitty things that I do each and every day. And I have it the set days that I send my host coaching prior to the show. I do that Monday, Thursday. And yes.
Jennifer,
what else?
You also talked about how, I know you're not in your parties all day long, but you pick strategic times 2 or 3 times a day just to check into your parties and catch up. Can you explain a little bit about how you do that?
Yes. So I kind of know off the back of my hand, like what posts are going out throughout the week and like throughout the day. And like I'll check normally like after 8, I'll check the parties. And then like after lunchtime, I'll check the parties. And then like around say from 6 to 9, when, you know, people are either sitting at the ball field waiting on their kids to get done with practice, or maybe they're sitting in traffic, or maybe they're that's like the best times throughout the day that people are on Facebook. And I'll make sure to go in, you know, and check my Facebook and respond to messages. But I just don't just let parties run and not engage in the party. And I'll be honest with you, up until back whenever I was running mega parties, I'm not a live, I don't do live demos because I live so deep in the country that I have really bad connection. And I've never once had anybody complain that I'm not showing, you know, live videos. I do use what Pampered Chef gives us on the YouTube channel and through the Pampered Chef with the videos. And two, I think it lets people see how easy this can be. Like, you don't have to do live videos. You don't have to be in front of the video, because some people are scared to death of doing live videos, and that's fine, and that's normal.
So Jennifer, just to recap kind of on your schedule, I'm kind of watching some of the questions that have come up. So Jennifer sends, notice a couple things that I think really helped Jennifer with not having very many cancellations with her Facebook parties is the fact that she is in touch with them kind of on a weekly or every other week basis, you know, about getting their host packet out. Then did they get their host packet, working on outside orders. So like all that, she's mailing that out about 4 weeks prior to the show. So it's on people's minds. They're not forgetting about the party. Then on Monday, prior to the party the following week, she sends out that host coaching message that she's talking about, and there were some questions about what's in it. It basically is telling them what their host rewards are. They need $200 in sales to qualify rewards. This is all that they're going to get, and mentions about how them being engaged in the party is going to make or break their party. So just a little recap about that to kind of plant those seeds. That's Monday. And then on Thursday, she sends out a message that just kind of tells them the outline of the party. Like, you know, tomorrow I'll be sending you your invite for you to start inviting. Well, you know, your friends will be joining over the weekend. The party will run Monday through Friday. You'll be able to work on your order over the weekend. Like, she just kind of explains what day the countdown's going to be, just kind of gives them the overlook of the party. Then when she invites them on Friday to the party, she's really been in touch with them a lot up into their party. So they're ready to go by Friday when they're ready to invite. And then that's when she flips over to the group message. So just to kind of recap what was happening there prior to the party. Then I asked Jennifer to give her top booking tips to secure bookings during the party. And there was 4 things that she mentioned. Jennifer, you want to talk about your top booking tips to secure bookings during your party? And these are those little things that she does in every party.
Yes, so I'll be honest with you. I am not a cold call girl at all. Like, I don't know how to get I don't know how to get bookings from cold calls. I put my hostess to work. I make sure that, you know, they know there is like a $25, and you can do whatever, but I do a $25 gift on the front side whenever they secure me 3 bookings from their party. And then, you know, I always make sure to let them know, like, hey, you know, if you were to sign up, I'll give you these bookings. They'll be yours to start the business. And so that's one way, is I put my host to work for me that week to get the bookings. And then the second way is to make sure that you have some booking posts each and every day in your parties. Like, they don't have to be like, you know, pick a number or pick, you know, pop a balloon. It can be like something like, hey, your husband called and said that, like, you know, I can't remember the way that it's worded, but there's some funny posts out there about hosting a show, but just like throw them in, you know, in your virtual template each day. Have something related to booking in your parties. And then, I always make sure I do have a Google slip that runs out on Friday morning before the party ends Friday night. So that's another way that you can snag some parties that maybe you didn't even catch the person. I'm also talking to people throughout the party, and I always go for and this is crazy, but I always go for the business first. Like, mention the business first. And then if they decline the business, then I'll recommend them booking a show with me, because they're pretty much doing already what my hostess is doing for the week. And if I don't get them that way, and then I'll make sure to either text or private message each and every ordering guest at the party. And it's a simple text. I like to text people, but sometimes I give you the wrong number, so then you have to send them a private message on Messenger. Or you can email them. And then if there was like a really active person in the show, but they didn't order from the party, then I'll make sure to send them a message like, hey, so-and-so, I saw that you didn't order from so-and-so's party, but I would love for you to get some free products because you were really active in the show. I think you would be a really good hostess for me. Would this week or that week work? So that right there pretty much gets me anywhere from 2 to 5 bookings at each party. And of course, sometimes we have a dud. That is to be expected. But for the most part, that's how I'm getting my bookings, are from putting your hostess to work, commenting or engaging yourself with active guests in the show, the Google slip, and then making sure to send a message or a text to each ordering guest at the party.
And Jennifer, I know that you have built your whole business these years since you started ramping up your virtual business for about the past 2.5 years, doing 4 to 6 parties a week. So if you guys are wondering how Jennifer runs her show schedule, 4 to 6 parties a week. She's booked up all the way through November. She's booking for November and December and January right now. Is that correct, Jennifer?
That's right.
So there was one thing that you said to me. You said that the one thing that I would tell everybody is to make sure your host is having fun, because why? Share that.
Because it is contagious. So if you are a light to your host and they're having fun, and then they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, Cindy, you should host a party with Jennifer. She made it so easy. She's great to work with, and we had a lot of fun this week. Then that is going to shine with her. It's going to be easier for her friends and family and coworkers to want to host a show because she's having fun. And that's the main thing with these virtual parties, is for these people to have fun in these shows.
So thank you, Jennifer. So just to wrap up, Jennifer's top tips for booking are to put your host to work for you to get the bookings, to make sure you have those booking posts every single day in your party, a booking post every single day, and are engaging in your party and engaging with your guests. Make sure you're using the Google Slip. It's actually Google Forms. Like, if you're going to create it, because we had some questions about that, go to Google Forms online, like Google Docs, but it's Google Form. And so it's just kind of like our door prize slip that we're using at the party, but it's a way for them to fill that out online. And we are picking up additional bookings in our parties for people that are not out there like, me, I'll have a show. This is an additional way that we're picking up bookings by following up with people that check that they might have some interest. And then customer care is a big way that Jennifer is landing her bookings, through messaging everyone who orders, and even going back in the party and messaging those active guests who didn't place an order. So pretty much communicating with every person that participated in the party and asking them about booking a show. And that's how she is staying so booked up. So I know that we had, I think I've kind of kept up with the questions so far, but if y'all will ask your questions in the chat, then we can ask them to Jennifer. Since everybody's muted, that might be the easiest way if there's some additional questions. But guys, I hope you got how Jennifer just does these little things. None of these things that she's shared with you are hard to do. But what has built Jennifer's success is that she's done all of these things all of the time, in every single party, every single day, not making excuses and not skipping, doing it on some parties and not on others. And that is what has created her success. One more question I saw come up was, one, how are you getting the bookings? How are you getting people to see the message if they haven't accepted your friend request? We're running, Jennifer and our team are running our parties on the business page now, so you don't friend anybody in the parties, and you're able to message and carry on conversations with people in the party. Once they comment in the party, you have the ability to message them from that comment and carry on a conversation if they're active in the party without being their friend, and it goes directly to their inbox, not to their other box. And guys, I will tell you, Jennifer and I will tell you, that is a game changer to working these parties. You do not have to work as hard in your parties because you're not trying to friend everybody, stay out of being blocked on Facebook. It's just a much more streamlined experience and more professional business experience on your business page. But you have to be interacting as your business to have that option to do that. That's one way that with the new changes, we've been able to overcome that. Donna, do you see any questions I've missed?
I think there was one question. I had asked if Jennifer does mega parties.
I answered in the thing. No, that was during the hiccup on Facebook when we ran some mega parties. But Jennifer, you're doing all individual parties on your business page, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was just that fluke while we had to work through that whole issue we're having with Facebook. And I had great success with that, but I felt like I couldn't really engage because I didn't know who was coming to whose party. And instead of like having to ask my host like who you invited or you go like have to dig, it was not a good recruiting time for me. But if I had to do it again, yeah, I would do mega parties. But
okay.
Yes.
Jennifer, can you explain what your scouting day is?
Yeah, so I have what's called a scouting day, and it's normally on Wednesdays. And by then, there's been a couple of posts, like what level interest of Pampered Chef are you, 1 through 4? If you had to pick an apron, what kind of apron would you pick? And more about you, like a more about you post. And so, like, I've had a lot of time to, like, really see who all has been really active in these parties, who's a Pampered Chef lover. And so I also have a friend request day where they send me the friend request. Some do, some don't, which is fine. But now that I'm running it through my business page, I don't have to worry about them not seeing that other message in that other message box because we're not friends with each other. And so, like, I'll just send them a message and say something like, hey, girl, you're a little party rock star in this party. Have you ever thought about being a virtual consultant before? That's it. There's no magical words besides that. And then I'm just planting the seed. They might say no, or I don't have time, or, you know, you just never know what you're going to get. And I just kind of like go through the obstacles of kind of like taking no for an answer. Like, oh my gosh, who has time to be on Facebook all day? I don't. But this is a good fun way to earn some extra money, or you know, hey, you've never thought about it, but I would love to send you some more information about it, or I'd like to invite you to an opportunity event. So you just have to kind of take it and steer the car in the opposite direction of where they're trying to take the conversation. But it's my scouting day, and I start writing down names, whose parties they're in, and then if I've sent them, you know, a message, because I think that's I have a big ask list, and it kind of like tells me like what I've done, like have I are we friends? Have I sent them an opportunity event? Have I sent them to become a consultant link? So I do that on Wednesdays because then my parties close on Friday, so that kind of gives me a little bit of time to talk to my host and make sure she's not interested in the business before I sign up a guest at her show.
Jennifer, another question we had, and we'll take 1 or 2 more questions if you want to type them into the chat question. And I have a suggestion for this, Jennifer, but I wanted to give it to you first if you had some different ideas. What if you get bookings and have very interactive parties, including the host, but aren't getting many sales? And I know we talked about this in one of our Director Bound calls not too long ago. What do you do in that situation?
So you want to make sure that you have enough people invited to the party. Like a lot of times, there might be like 15 or 20 people. They're really active, but they're not getting a whole lot of sales. I would highly recommend, sending my hosts a private message or maybe even texting them and just saying, something like, hey, I see that, you've invited 20 people, but the suite number is like maybe 40. You could put 50. Have you tried, personally inviting guests to the party? Have you kind of went through your Facebook list and thought about inviting other people, taking the catalog to work, to neighbors out and about, get some outside orders, just kind of getting through. But I know that we all from time to time have a party that's a flop. And, sometimes that has a lot to do with the host or circumstances.
And I know in our Director Bound class, one of the participants in our class actually gave this great idea and said that she has one of the ladies that kind of helped with one of the solutions, and then some of our team members tried this and it helped. They had a post that went in that said, everyone who orders before the party either got a free gift on their order before the party started on Monday, because these people are being invited on Friday or a few days before your party, whatever your start date is. Anyone who orders before the start of the party gets a free gift added to their order or goes into a drawing or something like that. But the earlier you can get some orders to come into the party and start posting those thank you, encourages more orders to come into the party. And sorry, the background noise. So I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. If you're doing what Jennifer is doing and sending out your catalogs 4 weeks ahead of time, working with them to get outside orders, by the time the party comes around to start, you can post the thank yous for those outside orders to kind of start that momentum. And people do what other people do. So when people are ordering in the party, it encourages more orders into the party. So those are some things that can help. And I love what Kay said up here. I never have this much fun at my real job. Guys, just like tonight's call, I hope you get Jennifer just works her business alongside her family and everything else that happens. If you wait for everything to be perfect to do what you need to do, it is never going to happen. So just roll and do what you do when you can do it. And this is a prime example, right, Jennifer?
Oh my gosh, guys, if y'all only knew my family, I came to the bedroom. I took my daughter up to the new house, so I only had one kid here, and he come looking for his sister. So like I tell Love, you can't make this stuff up, and I'm just glad that I get to work this alongside my crazy kids because they make life very interesting. And don't wait for the best opportunity. You just got to jump in full feet first.
Well, Jennifer, there was one person who put a comment that I think expresses all of our emotions for you. It says, Jennifer, I don't personally know you, but I love your spirit and your faith, and I pray you are abundantly blessed. Thank you for being an inspiration to us all.
Thank you so very much.
Jennifer, thank you so much for sharing with everyone tonight and sharing from your heart tonight and sharing what you do. And guys, it is the simple little things that are easy to do, but they're also easy not to do. Get yourself a system and do those things each day in your business, and you will be astonished at what can happen in your business this fall. So you guys go make it an incredible fall. Get your calendars booked up and do these little things that we need to be doing every single day in our business, and watch what you can do this fall. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. You're welcome.